as soon as we got to like mid-game and team fights, he was very, very strong. And they did have a comp build around protecting Cartridge, the hyper carry, we could say, which they won't be able to do, at least with Zillion this time around.
So Rengar also taken away. Seeing how confident Carbon is with that one, just diving in all over the place. So far, red side bans have been exactly as we predicted them. Maokai, Kassadin, will it be a Tristana file ban? It will be, as we said, it seemed pretty easy to kind of guess what Legacy we're going to ban out here.
It feels like Dark Passage is helping them a little bit though in this champ select, because they actually banned the Rengar, they banned the Alistar, and they could potentially have like first pick an Alistar if they played in top lane, if they played in support, and take it away from Legacy instead of banning it. Instead though, they had some very clear target bans here, and therefore I feel like Legacy actually removed pretty much everything they wanted to remove from the table. Lee Sin has been a good pick for Crystal M. Still, you can deal with Lee Sin now. So in this case, even though we talk about how it could be hard for Legacy Esport on the red side, pretty much everything they want gone is gone.
And Lee was one of the bans actually from our first game of the day, banned out by Legacy. So obviously Chris, I'm going to be feeling happy about getting that. Other side though, Cogmore going to be picked up for Kadrid, and Minky Whale will get his hands on Irelia, and already shown us that Irelia has been pretty strong today overall.
Yeah, it's actually been a good pick, especially because the Aurelias we have seen always seem to get a good start in the laning phase. Get the early Trinity Force you want for your mid-game power spike, and then you become really, really strong, and you're hard to shut down. So big pick here for Legacy Esport. And I wonder now what Dark Passage wants to respond with.
Well, it's going to be definitely Orianna here. That one was locked in. Of course, we did see Legacy playing it against Russian, forcing that mid lane. Choo Choo's had a massive game on that one, played incredibly, incredibly well. Looks like final pickup, not final pickup, next pickup here for Dark Passage will in fact be Braum. So Touch going somewhere a little different.
So getting the Orianna, take it away from Legacy Esports so they can't really, or make it harder for them to do this, protect our AD carry comp. It does, however, mean, especially when you early pick a Braum without seeing the enemy support, and Morgana is open, which once again falls in favor of Legacy, because right now she's one of the strongest supports, and she's also a counter to Braum. So now you, support-wise, put yourself in a bad situation by early picking it and leave Morgana. Also, Elise open for Legacy, so you have this insane pick potential already. Land Cocoon, land the binding, a target is locked down for like 5 seconds, and it buys so much time for the single target DPS Legacy have already locked in for AD carry and top lane to just take down the target.
Other side though, Nidalee was one that we touched on, was of course banned away by Legacy, the first time that these two teams met earlier on today. Jinx, also a champion, which Holy Phoenix, if you look through his solo queue match history, has played a fair bit of. But how is that going to work out for him? We also said that, you know, Morgana considered by many as the counter to Braum in that lane. Is Jinx going to have enough to survive through it if he gets binded up?
Yeah, if he gets binded in lane, it's gonna be hard for him. Of course, Legacy's lane is not exactly like a full all-in lane. It's a lot of a long-range poke if they do go 2v2 against each other. We've actually seen like a lot of lanes drop today. We've seen a lot of level 1 action as well, so we don't really know how the lanes are gonna look. But it seems for Holy Phoenix, he's of course a very teamfight focused AD carry, and he loves these resets or get one kill and like chase the next one. Could do the same on Tristana where he picked up the pentakill. And now on Jinx, he can try and do the same. So Dark Passage, they have Nidalee for the split push, and then they have like Orianna, Jinx to stay together and as like a 4-man group to push up towers. They can push it very fast with a Jinx. Just have to be careful because you don't have a jump. So if Legacy jumps towards you, as Jinx and you're hitting a tower, you're in a very bad situation.
And especially when you just see the Zed locked in there into the middle lane. That's the perfect champion for just diving straight in for that AD carry. Positioning for Holy Phoenix is going to be totally crucial in these fights.
It's going to be very important, especially because he only has Orianna and then a shield from Crystal M to actually protect him from the damage of that. Braum won't really be able to help him. I mean, if you jump the Jinx and Braum jumps to him, yeah, you can try and stun Zed. That's about it. You can't really prevent much of the damage unless you manage to block his Q with the shield. But that's about it. So, gonna be hard for Holy Phoenix here, especially if Dark Passage gets to the point where they want to split push with Nidalee and push with the rest of the members. Because on the other side, Legacy here, land a binding, land a cocoon, and you will just go all in and you can start these fights, and there's not a lot of disengage potential on the other side. There's a lot of disengage potential, but there's not a lot of protection for the Jinx if Zed get onto him.
Well, going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. And we want to know which team you guys think came out ahead in picks and bans. Tweet hashtag DP win or hashtag LGC win to @LOL Esports, and we'll check those results out shortly. Of course, everyone's still favoring Dark Passage here despite that victory from Legacy earlier on in the day.
Yeah, so when we do have this split push comp here for both teams, the early game is going to be so important, because if like Nidalee gets a few early kills, gets a good start, she will become like unkillable and can just split push all day long. We can also turn around and say, what about Zed? If he gets a few kills early on, then he can do the exact same deal. So a lot of split push here, a lot of pick potential, especially also from Legacy.
Well, let's find out then, shall we, how this one goes down as we get into game for Dark Passage versus Legacy Esports for the second time here today. Of course, it was Legacy that won the earlier encounter and are, of course, at the top of the table right now after sitting there with 2 wins to their name. Dark Passage just behind them and could actually put both of them at 2-1 if they're able to pick up the win.
So let's see here level 1-wise. As I just said before, every single game today we have had level 1 action, and seems like we're getting it once again. Mickey Will might be caught out of position.
Yeah, Fabulous going to dive straight in there on top of him for this one. Early bit of damage, good stun coming out of Minky Whale. Well, that forces them away from the red side of their jungle.
She's just getting in. Want to place a deep ward between the 2 top towers so they can try and spot a possible lane swap from Legacy here. Or trying to dodge around the lane if they want to. Simply trying to scout out where Legacy is sending their dual lane or their top lane. And then just from there on decide where they want to put their lanes. Wouldn't surprise me to see Holy Phoenix and Touch try and dodge around the dual lane from Legacy here. It could be a very hard lane for them if they get a 2v2 and don't get any help from Crystal M on Lee Sin.
So let's find out then how the start of this one will look. Looks like Cardred is going to be going towards the top side, so looking for that 2 versus 1. I'm going to push right up against the wall here, and there we can see, he is spotted just there by that ward as he goes through.
Yeah, so Legacy, they know, Dark Passage, they know Legacy has sent their dual lane up to the top side, and it seems like they actually want to go for the 2v2 lane here, taking Jinx and Braum and sending them up to top lane. They might find a few members from Legacy, however, because they're invading on the blue buff.
Yeah, Crystal M on one side, Naru and Touch on the other. That's a good little binding onto Touch, and that will stop them actually chasing through completely. That leaves us well with this 1 versus 1. Obviously, in the mid lane, Choo-Choo's, who's been really outstanding today for Legacy, up against Naru, who also, even that loss earlier on to Legacy, still looked pretty damn solid.
Yeah, especially in the laning phase, he looked very, very good. He managed to not only kill Choo-Choo's in a one-on-one and then actually get level 6 to get a double kill down the bottom lane at the same time on Zeref. Team fight-wise, didn't look too strong, but that was more of also a team effort where the coordination wasn't on point. That never really managed to land a lot of the ultis from Zeref and get a lot of damage in. But up in the top lane, remember, Dark Passage decided to go for the 2v2 themselves. They spotted Cardred and Ejim going to the top lane, swapped to the top side. So now they have to handle his dual lane.
And we already see a bit of damage being thrown between them. In fact,
Ejim is only level 1.
Gonna get stunned up here. There is a zap coming out. Flash already forced. Exhaust goes down. Ejim in some real trouble. Is he gonna fall? Phoenix is gonna get him. Can they finish off Cardred as well? I don't think they'll finish him, but will he get under? There's a flash right underneath the tower, and well, that is aggression pure out of Dark Passage.
And this is purely because Ejim went to the blue buff when Legacy went for the lane invade, so he didn't get any XP in the laning phase, which meant he was only level 1 once Dark Passage dual lane hit level 2, and they instantly saw a chance to just jump him and managed to kill him. So Ejim have been playing so well today. Big mistake here, staying in the front, opening up for Touch to jump in, get the stun, while he was only level 1 because he went for the blue buff. So pays off for Dark Passage early on here.
This bottom lane, the 1 versus 1 down there, is also kind of going as you really expect with Irelia versus Nidalee. Nidalee just keeping Irelia completely away with the range of the auto attacks and then diving onto him as soon as he gets close.
And this really is the main reason for the lane swap from Dark Passage. They wanted to have Nidalee one-on-one against Irelia in the lane. So even though they potentially had to sacrifice something, Naru dodging around.
Cocoon missing there, and I think that's enough for Naru. Used his flash earlier on, so if that Cocoon would have landed, that possibly would have been another kill. This time, though, of course, for Legacy. So Naru getting away with that one. Flash down, though, means he could be a target later on for Carbon.
Yeah, so again, just back again to the whole Nidalee point. Even though they had to sacrifice something 80 carry-wise, Maybe not even now where they picked up the early kill because EGM was only level 1, but they just really wanted this Nidalee versus Aurelia one-on-one lane, so he could bully it, get a big lead, shut down Aurelia. We talked about how today the Aurelia players have had a good start, always got early Trinity Force and could be very strong in the mid game. When you're this far behind in CS, and if it stays the same, your Trinity Force is going to be very delayed, and you might never hit your power spike, and therefore just become a tank in the late game and can never really kill anyone, where Fabulous can just split push forever on the lane. We see all the focus here on getting him ahead. Crystal M coming in for potential dive.
Are they going to be able to get in for this one? There's the dive. Minky Whale trying to get around. Actually, a good flash there. It's all going to be on whether the Q lands, and it does. Crystal M able to pick that one up. We did see Elise coming down, but just too late there.
So got a kill. Perfect start for Dark Passage. You get a kill in the top lane. You get a kill in the bottom lane. Didn't go to Fabulous. Still, kill. Deny a lot of farm. There's no teleport on Minky Whale, so he won't be able to come down and pick up all this farm. He's very far behind in XP. He's very far behind in farm. Dark Passage with the deep level 1 ward and swapping the duel into top lane to make sure they got the one-on-one really paid off here.
Cardred having to recall once again from this lane, facing a lot of problems, touching Holy Phoenix after getting that initial kill. I mean, it gave the pickaxe straight away pretty much to Holy Phoenix there, which makes that lane ridiculously hard to deal with. But we also know that Jinx is going to shred these turrets. We see it already down to just over half HP. EGM's still there, so they can hold on to that one at least for a couple more waves. As Crystal M also headed towards middle there. They wanted to push that one out because Naru tried to go home a little bit earlier on to shop up. Now he's going to get the chance to do so.
Let's see what Legacy wants to do now, because they need to help Minky Whale in this bottom lane. He's not going to be able to handle himself. Already level behind, but 20 CS behind as well. And Crystal M can easily walk down to this bottom lane again if they poke him down and dive him. So let's see what happens in mid lane though.
That is a very ballsy move from Crystal M, just diving in after landing the Q. Enough damage really to Choo Choo's to send him off and home, which means that he's going to be coming back in there with a couple more items. You actually see Seeker's arm guard for Naru as the gank comes towards his top lane. Carbon, is he going to be able to get in there for the Cocoon? It lands on towards Touch. His Unbreakable's already been burnt through, but Holy Phoenix able to do good damage back. Teleport coming in as well. Who are they going to go for? Fabulous a little bit out of range. Exhaust on towards Cardred. Here comes Crystal M as well. Cardred's going down. Will they dive for any more? No, they won't. Decide against it.
So teleporting to this top lane here, they really wanted to pick up a kill. Got onto Nidalee, but look down this bottom lane now. Minky Whale can finally pick up some farm, push it into the tower. No teleport from Fabulous, so he has to run the entire way to the lane. So actually means now Minky Whale getting some much needed farm and XP. Did have to give up a kill in the top lane though.
And that turret being shredded here. Minky Whale with just those 2 Doran's Blade after the terrible start that he's really had. Choo Choo's meanwhile going aggressive on towards Naru. As I mentioned, Seeker's arm guard came in, but on the other side, a Brutalizer was finished off first for Choo Choo's.
Choo Choo's is normally a person who really likes to play these assassins. Has played some Yasuo as well. So I'm really looking forward to see what he can do on Zed when we come out of the laning phase. But now he's just been doing a good job farming against Naru. Keeping fairly even. Remember, Orianna will always hit the point where she starts just instant clearing the wave and then go to his own jungle and just keep taking jungle camps, and that's normally where we see an Orianna get a big CS lead. But that's of course where Legacy then can use the fact that Naru will be stuck in the mid lane, farming jungle camps, farming the lane, to then roam around the map and try and set up some picks.
You know, we saw Blue Buff giving over to Naru as well. Actually, Crystal M going very low from it. And Naru had to get in there to pretty much take that and save his jungler. As Carbon spots out that pink ward that was placed earlier on in the Death Rush. This 2 versus 2 lane still going very well for Dark Passage. 1-0-1 on the Jinx. Now that Zeal added in on top of the pickaxe from earlier on. And he's a good chunk of farm ahead as well.
Yeah, looking really good, especially the level 1 kill onto EGM and then of course teleport. So Dark Passage here early on really made it very clear. We are fine leaving mid lane just to Naru alone at this point, and then we make sure Crystal M is helping the bottom lane at first, and we have teleport if needed to assist the top lane. And simply mean they are looking very strong in both side lanes, and even Naru is of course doing his job in this mid lane alone. This gang down his bottom lane though is pretty hard to pull off because Nidalee can jump around.
Can jump around.
Let's see what
there
they
we
can
go.
do.
Dive coming in. There is the stun coming down. Fabulous turns around, tries to put some damage of his own back in. Didn't work out for him, and that is a kill back here. And that is the ultimate in the top side for Touch as well. Have they got the damage here to finish off Cardred? Holy Phoenix actually going pretty low. There's the binding coming in as well. Some of the heal was used. Can he get away from the Cathian surprise? No, he can't. Cardred will bring it back.
So trading 1-for-1 here. Tower, however, did go down this top lane. So Holy Phoenix did manage to kill it before they engage the fight. And down this bottom lane, while it can be hard to lock down in Italy, it really helps when he's at the minions and you can just run straight to him, stun him, set up the cocoon here. So nice setup by Legacy, making sure Carbon is also in the game and want to assist these lanes. And Minky will now, with the kill, with the farm he got earlier from the teleport as well from Fabulous, is getting slowly back into the game.
Yep, only 10 CS behind. Already working up now towards that Trinity Force after starting with the double Doran's Blades. Got that Phage there now. We'll see how he continues on that front. A lot of damage already from Naru there onto the mid lane as Choo Choo's going to come under pressure from Crystal M. Jungler is there on the other side though, and that will force Crystal M to think twice about following the Q up.
So Carbon again just there to secure if you do go aggressive on my mid laner, I'm ready to counter gank it. And we already saw the burst from an Elise down his bottom lane onto Fabulous. Dark Passage is starting off the Dragon. 4 members here. Minky Well does a teleport in the top lane, but it doesn't look like Legacy wants to contest this Dragon at all.
Nope, not going to even go for it. Legacy actually decided to do a bit of damage towards this middle turret with Elise and Zed, but they need to start to move away from this one. Good cocoon onto Fabulous. Will he try and chase through? Spear will be thrown in there, but as he starts to chase, realizing you're never going to be able to catch him up, and that will leave that one. However, down in the bottom lane, the duo has moved in, and they're going to be taking a turret. Top lane may also fall as well. Minky Whale doing good damage to that one. Is going to be headed off by Fabulous, but I don't think it's enough. No, there we go. Minion actually takes it down in the end, so a trade for turrets in that scenario leaves us at 2-1 in favor of Dark Passage.
I actually really like the build here for Holy Phoenix. A lot of focus on just getting the static shift early, so you can push waves, you can push towers, and it really works on Jinx because you normally don't have a lot of waves unless you have time to stand there with your rocket and constantly hit these minions here and get a crit on them possibly. Then you can clear it fast, but you're pretty low range when you do it, so it can be a bit risky on the tower. Static shift is going to help to clear the waves, farm even faster, and push down these towers. It was a fast push we talked about they could do with a Jinx, and it's really paying off because he got such a good start. He got the early kills. He's stronger than Cartridge at the moment, and just using it to constantly pressure the side lanes and getting the towers.
First bigger item coming out here. Morella Nomicon actually picked up by Naru. Obviously deciding not to go straight up towards the Zhonya. Just one of that Seeker's Arm Guard for the extra protection in that mid lane against Choo Choo's. And now Dark Passage actually just moving their bottom lane, and Jungler coming in now as well. There's only really Elise to stop this tower being pushed down, so might be a good chunk of damage here for Dark Passage.
It is definitely the right call. Just go in early, use your advantage, keep pushing these lanes. You already killed the top turret, you already killed the bottom one, you have the Jinx with early attack speed. Just get straight to this tower and get them down as fast as possible. Now they can move into the jungle of Legacy, place some deep wards, and start punishing Carbon if he keeps farming the jungle here. Otherwise, you just start slow pushing the other lanes. You have your split push in one lane, you slow push the other one, and you keep the 4 members again we talked about in this mid lane, and you just start pushing up the lanes. If Fabulous in this top lane gets to his tower, or get to the Tower of Legacy, the 4 members from Dark Passage can just say, okay, we run straight through your jungle, we have it warded already, to this top tower. Instantly we have 5 people, we push it down very fast before you can even react here. So looking very, very nice, and Static Shift should be completed next time Holy Phoenix goes back. And then it's all about the race to Infinity Edge as your second item, and you already have your 2 very important items. You have your first spike, and you can then start scaling up to late game, where Jinx of course is very, very strong as well. So let's see, Minky Whale over in this top lane looking for a fight. Yep. You might regret it.
Yeah, got the Sheen in there now, but we are seeing Crystal M coming in. No tower, of course, in there behind him. That's a good flash to get away from Crystal M, who lands the Q there, but he is going to follow it up, actually. Good stun from Minky Whale to say, no, you're not going to get in behind me and kick me back into Fabulous.
Just Crystal M keeps trying to set kills up for Fabulous up in this top lane. First it was in the bottom lane with the gank, now in this top lane. Did force a flash, which means Fabulous now, next time he goes back to split push now with the Trinity Force completed, can try and chase down Minky Whale and go for a kill. or send up someone like Crystal M again, of course, and kill him, and therefore open up for the tower. Because there's no dragon for the next few minutes. It's going to be all about just farming the waves and also pushing down towers if Dark Passage feel like they get an opening.
So just a bit of clarity on the rules here. If these two teams end up tied by the end of things, it of course comes down to who between them has the fastest win time to decide who gets the high seed going forward. Obviously, Russian Force still may have something to say about that a little bit later on, but for now, looking good for Dark Passage to actually win this second encounter as Choo Choo's might be in trouble. Crystal M is going to be coming into it. Choo Choo's actually turns around, goes straight in for Holy Phoenix, but not really getting the damage that he wanted there either. And now he's the one in all kinds of trouble. In control completely. Good ulti. There is a Jinx Rock he actually jumped away from with the flash. Death Mark going on to Crystal M as well. He's probably going to die from that one. If not, Minky Whale will finish off. And now Touch on that turret down bottom seems to be getting away as Fabulous is going to TP in as well. Orianna joining the fight now as well as Carbon hit by the zap, won't be able to escape. Holy Phoenix gets that one, and it's a messy encounter in the bottom lane.
But that was such a great play in the start here from Choo Choo's. He went aggressive onto Holy Phoenix here, forced his splash, kept chasing him. He was slowed down. There's two members, both Lee Sin and Brom onto him. Just gonna see it again. He goes in first, doesn't get the death mark, just shadow in, get all the damage, and now chasing, trying to flash, tries to get to him. Not possible. Nice ulti here from Touch, hitting two members, also Minky Whale, who teleported in. Zed is still alive, goes for Crystal M, picks up the kill, gets out alive again, but now the rest of Legacy joins in, looking for more kills. Teleport comes in from Fabulous. Minky Whale is out of position, a bit too aggressive here. He dies, and Naru joins as well. And at the same time, Carteret, he was actually running from base, so he was never really part of the fight.
So, where does that leave us then? 16.5 minutes in, 6-3 in kills for Dark Passage, and a 5,000 gold lead at this point, and only 30 seconds until the dragon comes up. Crystal M very deep in the jungle. They're actually doing the white. And in the end, he's forced to hop away as Cadre defends this mid lane. But for now, it's looking like Dark Passage are the team in position for this dragon.
And you can really see how much farm and how many kills Holy Phoenix have gotten already. Because he was going to go for Static Shift. Instead, he had enough gold to actually go back, only the pickaxe to get the Infinity Edge. So delaying the Static Shift a little bit, but next time he goes back, especially after Dragon here, and picks up just a bit more farm, he will be able to complete Static Shift and get his 2 items. While this Carteret just completed his Trinity Force. So he's behind at the moment, both kills, especially also with the dragons, with the early kills here, and he's just going to have to try and sit back and get as much farm as possible. But it's going to be hard because Dark Passage shouldn't stop pushing towers now. They should keep going for it and use the fact that Jinx is so strong at this point.
Oh, I see the damage there. Actually, Carteret forced to flash away from Nidalee. The auto attacks causing him too much pain. He decides to back away, but that leaves him a bit more vulnerable, especially if Crystal M can get on top of him, get him kicked back into the rest of the team. Naru, meanwhile, is pushing the mid lane. Minky Whale is going to come around, try and stop him from this one. Elise comes over the top, but they decide to go away, both flashing away from the shockwave, but still the damage coming down here onto Naru. Carbon is going to be slowed down. Super Mega Death Rocket doesn't land, but Fabulous gets the kill anyway. Now Minky Whale going to be pressured. Touch blocking out a lot of the damage that came back to them, but I think they've got enough here for the tower.
And they just keep pressuring all the lanes in. Naru against 2 members. He's not running. He's going straight for the ulti. Want to get a fight here. Wants to get them low. Even managed to pick up a kill on Carbon and therefore force the tower again. And it's always one of the issues when you do play like an assassin mid lane like Zed. If you do not get ahead, you never really get to the point where you can start split pushing because your team won't be able to defend without you and the other team can just constantly push down on your towers. And if you're not there to help wave clearing, well, tower's going to die. So they've been forced to use both Aurelia and Zed to stay with the team and wave play instead of doing what they do best, and at least at this point of the game, and look for these split push, look for these one-on-one fights. Simply because Dark Passage early game was so good. 2v2 top lane because they spotted the swap here, got the one-on-one with Nidalee against Aurelia, won it, won the dual lane as well because Ejin was only the one, ended up dying. The TP as well picked up another kill for Dark Passage. It was just a great early game, made it very hard for Legacy to actually use their comp properly. Trinity Force is not even completed yet for Minky Whale. Just almost said Milky Whale again.
An old Milky Whale.
So
Second
far,
appearance.
yeah, we have Holy Felix and Milky Whale, but could also see Holy Phoenix and Minky Whale.
Awesome stuff. 43:26 is the time, by the way, that was set by Legacy in the first time that these two teams meet. And just to go back to that point earlier, if they end up tied, it comes down to the game times and who wins the fastest, basically, over the course of these two games. So, and Dark Passage, to be honest, we're not even 20 minutes into this one. They're already doing a fantastic job of pushing the map. Fabulous going into this one. Deathmark comes down. It's going to do a lot of damage. The spear coming through. Not quite enough to kill off Choo-Choo's, but it's probably enough to force them away from the tower. Completely shockwave onto Carbon. He flashed the last one, of course. Nowhere to repel. But Fabulous goes down, and that is going to be another tower.
Exactly the same deal here. Dark Passage move through a tower. As soon as they have a chance to get some damage or force a flash or kill someone from Legacy, they do it. Again, it's a one-man shockwave. It doesn't matter. Just get the one kill, get someone low, and you take this tower so fast. And just, again, same deal. Yes, they lost the tower in the top lane, but they keep pushing in. Minky Whale is forced to go back now.
And he's actually just going to finish off his Triforce there, which leaves him quite the way behind Nidalee, who's 4-1-1. Not about 10 CS more, but more importantly, Trinity Force was done earlier on. Glacial Shroud is now in there, and is possibly going to be going back. Got another 1,000 gold to spend there. So Dark Passage decided it is in fact time to go back and finish off a couple of items. Of course, the Static Shift done there for Jinx, picking up a Vamp Scepter as well. So looking like Bloodthirst are going to be the next item.
Yeah. So we do see Dark Passage here respecting the Z pickup and say, while we don't have the best, well, actually, again, you do have a pretty fed Orianna, which really helps against the Z here, but they're respecting it and saying, we want to protect ourselves through our items. So we're going to get Bloodthirst, we're going to get the shield. We have Hourglass, of course, on Naru, on Orianna, very standard against a Z. And we also have Face of the Mountain on Touch here to provide an extra shield. So now you have, like, the Lee Sin shield, you have Orianna shield, you have heal from Fabulous, you have Bloodthirster, soon to come shield, and you also have the Face of the Mountain. Fabulous though, you're dead.
Yeah, he is going to go down from this one. There is a blood mark popping. Or death mark, actually.
Blood mark.
A lot of blood to come out of Fabulous, and that will be a shutdown, actually. And Choo-Choo's just going to try to get away from it. Decently low HP, and Minky Whale joined in there, actually.
Good guy, Minky Whale.
The rocket that was headed towards Choo-Choo's may have been enough to actually take him down as well. And they get another turret. It's Minky Whale that's doing all the turret work.
Yeah, he's just running between the lanes, kill the turret. And we see again, though, the second time Choo-Choo's actually get to split push, he picks up a kill. First time it was one versus 3, and he managed to get a kill. And Crystal M looking for something on Carbon here.
Got to break the shield though before he goes to try and kick him into it. There is the shield wearing off. Carbon down to less than half HP. There's the ultimate out of touch. Crystal M is in the middle of them. Cartridge going to be focused. Carbon is low. Ejim is low. And there is Phoenix cleaning up once again. Gets himself the triple, and they'll back away, possibly to that top lane and then Baron.
So while the split push really worked before for Legacy, they picked up a kill, they got a tower. Dark Passage once again group as a team. They run into your jungle, run to your tower. It doesn't even matter at this point. They're just looking to find members from Legacy and look to fight. And once again, they win the fight, get some kills. Always seems to get a tower. Every time they get a kill, or more kills, get a tower, get a dragon, and they want to Baron here. And only 2 members from Legacy who is actually in a position to try and stop it, and nobody has a smite.
Yeah, not sure if Minky Whale's going to be able to pull this one off. Naru just getting a ward on top of him. The Chompers go down to try and stop him coming in the backside. There is Zed as well, hanging around. Can he get in? Goes with the death mark into the pit. Not enough damage though. And there is the kill onto Choo-Choo's. The Baron being picked up as well by Crystal M. Fabulous actually going to get hit by the binding, but that's only going to slow them down here. 4 men alive only for Legacy up against a full Baroned up team of Dark Passage, who are now going for a dragon as well.
Just looking to get as much goal as possible. Let's just see the replay again. Notice here again, split push, Dark Passage don't even care. Yes, we lose 1 member, we're still so strong. The rest of our members will go into your jungle, look for the fight. No kick onto Carbon due to the black shield, but then they can just re-engage. Holy Phoenix is so strong at this point. Get your passive proc, chase it, get more kills, get the crits. I mean, Infinity Edge, Static Shift already can really clean it up, and everyone else on the team around him, if you ignore the Nidalee, he's just like full support style. 007 for Naru in the mid lane. Just, I'm here to help my AD carry, and it works.
And speaking of the AD carry, we see there Holy Phoenix going back. Was sat on about 2,000 gold and picks himself up now a BF sword, so definitely working in towards that Bloodthirster. On the top side, we see Fabulous, Frozen, Heartdone, also picked up another pickaxe. We're going to see a Randuin's for the jungler. A Death Cap should be coming up here for Naru as well, now that he's got Zhonya's Morellonomicon and another Needlessly Large Rod. And the problem that they have here is how do they clear these waves once they start to get pushed in. Orianna can just drop the ball behind the tower, gives Jinx free reign. Again,
they are forced to keep Zed with the team if they want to defend the towers, because he can use the shadow, get some extra range and try and clear the wave or most of it as fast as possible. If he goes to split push, Dark Passage at this point can just ignore him, go straight for the base, take 1 or 2 towers down, open up for the inhibitors, and therefore take them down as well, and then completely ignore the split push, which the few times Legacy did manage to pull it off worked. They got kills. It was well played. But they've just been falling so far behind. Dark Passage once again can just keep forcing these objectives.
Oh, Cocoon there onto Holy Phoenix, but the tower already starting to get blasted down, and Holy Phoenix not going to be scared here to go in a little closer touch. Definitely tanky enough to just hold onto that inhibitor turret for him and take the damage. As Minky Whale and Fabulous having a bit of a one-on-one. It's not really a one-on-one though. Fabulous is absolutely destroying him. Jumps in, gets the kill, will flash out with the shield of Crystal M. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is pushing straight through the mid lane. They've got the inhibitor turret, and they may just be able to straight up fight this one. The zone of the Chompers will be enough to get the first in him.
And go straight to the top lane here. The wave is coming in. Minky Whale is dead for another 20 seconds. Should be another tower now. Once again, the Jinx, it just works wonders for Dark Passage. Every time they get to the tower, it dies within seconds.
Oh, Shockwave actually coming in. Ejin managing to get the shield onto him, but there's a spear coming through from Fabulous to get the kill. There's a second in him, and to be honest, Dark Passage can just go for the win here. That Jinx hammering away. They want more kills though. Get behind Carbon, didn't quite get the kick on him. Dive in front touch, they're gonna try and get the kills on top of the fountain. They could be going for the game, but instead wanting a couple more kills. Minions taking a while to actually get there. In fact, they've been headed off in the middle lane. But that top lane is going to start to push through, and only that one Nexus turret now stands between Dark Passage and the victory here over Legacy for the revenge after that earlier defeat. And there they go, on towards the turret, easily shredded down. Can they finish off the game, or do they want more kills at the end just to prove a point? Carbon going to be the target. He will again repel away. Ejin will get his ulti off, but the Nexus goes down, and Dark Passage pick up the win.
Very, very dominant performance. As soon as they got the lane matchup, they won. Fabulous against Minky Whale in the one-on-one, so that Nidalee could dominate Aurelia, shut him down early. Crystal M did a good job helping as well, getting the dive in his bottom lane, and then up in his top side. We have praised the bottom lane for Legacy a lot, but this time around, it didn't work out for him. They gave up the early kill because Ejin was only level 1 after the lane invade on blue buff. Once level 2 was hit by Dark Passage, and they went aggressive on him instantly, killed him, got a kill onto Holy Phoenix. Then we saw Teleport got a second one, and from there, it was just so hard for Legacy to do anything because they fell behind as a split push comp. And you just had to kind of hope Dark Passage would play the passive and sit back and if open up for you to get onto your side lanes and you can start split pushing. It just never happened because Dark Passage just kept going straight for the tower, straight for the fights.
Yeah, no messing around. They knew that they had the power on top of those turrets to just keep pushing them in there, really utilizing their advantage. And this is the kind of the point that we had against Dark Passage earlier on almost, that they seem to be used to being far enough ahead in games that they can just snowball that completely out of control. I mean, we saw them take 2-3 kills, get a couple of turrets, go to the top lane, take the tower, go straight off to Baron, run down, take a dragon, and go home with an absolute boatload of gold to spend. As I was mentioning before, the time's important in this one because it could mean the difference in seed going into tomorrow's best of 5 final for the spot at Worlds. Done quicker here by almost 20 minutes, actually, by Dark Passage in this second win for them.
Yeah, no, also Legacy, if they do lose the next game they'll play against Russian Force, all of a sudden, they might actually not be in time with them if Russian Force can then beat Dark Passage here. So all of a sudden now we have all the teams being very, very close in the standings. And the next few games will, of course, decide, will it be tiebreakers? Will we actually have a clear winner or clear number 1 and 2 proceeding to the grand final just after the first 6 games?
Well, that's sometimes how it goes. You have in these double round robins where you play each other twice. The fact that one team can seemingly dominate the first half of the day And then suddenly, you know, I think that last win against Russian Force gave Dark Passage a lot of confidence back into the game after losing to Legacy earlier on. Cleaned up Russian Force, did an incredible job here as well for the win.
Yeah, again, everything just worked for him from the start of the game. Naro in the mid lane did well on Orianna, just all alone, one-on-one. One of the reasons you pick Orianna, because she's so good in the laning phase, she's so strong early on, and you can always like blind pick her, and she just fits into pretty much all comps. In this case, especially because you had a Jinx now, you wanted to protect her. Okay, we have the Orianna ball as like our main protection for you in these fights against the Zed. And then also just, again, they got the lanes, they got the kills early on in the lanes, they managed to snowball, got their first dragon, got the first 2 dragons, I believe even. And while Legacy tried to have some comeback plays, it was just too late and they were too far behind the goal. It's just all about towers now all of a sudden.
Well, great win here for Dark Passage, and we're going to join Shox, who's on stage with a team member of Dark Passage.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm here with Holy Phoenix. Congratulations, first up, what a game. Now, of course, you played Legacy Esports earlier here in the day. What did you change? Because that game, of course, didn't go so well in the mid-game.
I think we lost the first game because of the picks. Their picks was really good for us, like Zillion, Alistar, Kog'Maw wouldn't die in the team fight and then does tons of damage, and I guess the team fight lost for us. And the second game, we banned Zillion and Alistar, so that's the why we won, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys got a big advantage very early on. Great performance by you on Jinx. Great performance by you on Tristana in that last game. The pentakill coming in there. You know, Fabulous had it on this stage, of course, last year. Did you really want that?
Yeah, I was like yelling pentakill at the first. Like, I knew I was going to get pentakill, just set my team place that don't hit, I will get the pentakill, and I get it, and it was really good.
Yeah, it was an amazing moment. In the video actually running up to these games, we heard your teammates say, well, the reason why we didn't make it last year is because Holy Phoenix wasn't here. Doesn't that create a lot of pressure for you to come up here?
Yeah, but I'm more ambitious because I couldn't come here because I was 16 years old. We won the last year as well, but now I'm more ambitious, so I'm playing my best to win to go to Worlds, and I guess I'm doing it.
Yeah, you're doing very well indeed. Tell me a little bit about how important it is for you in your region to be the representative here and make it to Worlds.
Yeah, well, as a Dark Passage, our goal always was go to Worlds. So we practice for the wildcard so much, and I hope we go to Worlds.
Well, we will see, of course. Well, you're doing very good up to now. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I want to say thanks to all my fans in Turkey. Herkese selamlar arkadaşlar. Görüşürüz. Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right, we have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be breaking down this game and more action as Russian Force takes on Legacy Esports. Stay right here.
Seems to be getting away as Fabulous is going to TP in as well. Orianna joining the fight now as well, as Carbon hit by the zap, won't be able to escape. Down to less than half HP, there's the ultimate out of touch. Chris Lemon's in the middle of them. Cardin's going to be focused. Carbon is low, Ejim is low, and there is Phoenix cleaning up once again.